All right, let's put the nail in the coffin of this, the second day of the trial. I would assume that's what's going to end this. Have a look at these floor plans. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. There's no place to hide, and yet he didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has the answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it. Or I will find your defendant guilty. Where was he at the time of the crime?
He was,
That was him.
the victim,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Yeah. Officer Marshall was standing right here.
There? But
That's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Oh, that was the judge? Damn it. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the scene of the crime. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. He said he didn't see it. May I point out, though, Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. He also testified that he never looks a man in the face.
Yeah.
When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card. He stabbed me. He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Whoop. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
yes, he would have needed to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on this ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed it, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man was Detective Goodman's. Do you have anything to say to the Mr. Dorado? Your Honor, I would like to find our witness guilty on account that they only do this when they are. You've got quite an imagination, partner. We've got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. You're a patrolman. Unless you have hard evidence to prove I was dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have the evidence? The evidence proving, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. It's the only thing that's possible.
Yeah.
If we have already in previous circumstances proven that we irrefutably allow or believe that these lockers don't malfunction, then that's the proof.
Yeah.
We've already accepted that they don't malfunction. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Dessert heat. I could go for a hot lava cake.
Oh.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Stuff up.
I don't know.
Ah.
It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? They have lava cakes at Costco. No. It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. Hey! I'll pass you what someone told me when I was just starting out. I've beaten you, Edgeworth,
Yeah,
and
man.
I've beaten you 3 times and gotten you off of murder.
Yeah.
Wait, beaten you 2 times and gotten you off of murder. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Boobies. Objection, boobies. Now, try thinking outside the box.
Something I can never do with you, Mia.
All I can think is of your box. Your vagina box.
Thank you.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Like, you mean the disguise that he crammed in the locker, which we've already pointed out. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place?
What do you mean?
Oh, Edgeworth's helping us. There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance that he might be discovered later as it may have been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that the white cloth sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to our unanswered questions. I don't have the evidence, so my video is my only shot.
Very well, let's take another look. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker and put away the white cloth. Please show why the witness had to open his locker.
What do we just point to his coat?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like,
Anywhere? Like
right here? We can just do this?
I think so.
Why not?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
must be.
Well, what do you have to say to that? Oh, shit, it's wrong.
What?
Well, what the fuck? All right, partner. You really want to know the reason I had to open my locker? Why? So I could stuff you in there. Huh? I'm sure the world would be better off with you sent to the boneyard. Jesus Christ, dude.
Easy.
Unfortunately, unsolved cases can't be stored in the evidence room. Fuck.
What the hell?
Edgeworth, that's an asshole move. Now I'm supposed
Alright.
to. Now I have an unsolved case? Don't look at the chat, and just
No,
in
I'm
case
not.
we'll figure this out. Something went wrong with that evidence room. That's why Marshall had to open his locker.
Oh, there's blood on his jacket at one point, and it's probably Meekins'
Oh,
blood.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
just
probably
the
it.
fact that Meekins came in is what he hadn't accounted for. Otherwise, he
Yeah.
just would have left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's covered in, yeah.
Okay. All right. Easy. Marshall dressed as Detective Goodman, time of the crime, then after the crime was committed. All right, he opened it up. All right. Okay. And he opened up and wanted to put the
Careful.
cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps. All right. Let me get back in
Careful.
this. I still say we don't have to prove it like this.
Makes sense, though.
There's a locker with cloth. The point is that he opened up the locker while he was in there. That's the point. I should be able to say, prove to me that someone other than two people buzzed into that room.
Yeah.
They didn't. Then there's
Yeah.
nowhere to hide. I already proved that. Come on. Oh.
There.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's the Iggy.
Ah!
Oops.
I hate this system. There we go. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room. I don't know what that reason was yet. Yeah, it obviously had to do with the SL9 case.
Yeah, man.
However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When he asked to show your ID, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked. and the white cloth you were wearing was soiled with blood.
A bloody white cloth?
You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid your cloth in that locker. Not bad, huh, partner?
Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. Your Honor, I move to not allow him to testify anymore on the grounds that he has lied 3 times so far. Fuck! I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court why you did all of it. All right. Seems time has come. Now I'll tell the truth, honest. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. There wasn't any murder in that evidence room at 5:15. It's kind of true, actually, unfortunately.
So you suppose the victim was really you?
But there's one thing I don't understand. Large quantities of blood traces were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered there, then how could that be?
Well, you already know that, don't you? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It looks like too much blood for that. I don't know. You never know how much somebody can bleed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we gonna poke a hole in here?
Alright, let's just press it all first.
I agree with everything he said.
Yeah. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't stand by and let it die. To find large amounts of blood, like, all of this stuff is subjective.
Yeah.
And the people gathering it are not experts. Like, as a defense attorney, I don't even...
16-year-old girl spraying.
Yeah, I've got a
around.
16-year-old, not even in college yet, spraying around something she mail-ordered, and a defense attorney who doesn't know, like, what he's doing half the time in court. And yet we've determined that it's a large amount of blood. Just like anybody in any movie or game can go up to a body, go like this and be like, it's been dead for a while. Who would know that? I don't know how quickly a body loses its temperature. I would never have the confidence to go up to someone and be like, rigor mortis has set in. Must have been dead for quite a while. Exactly 2 hours, in fact. Like, who knows these things?
Not us, man.
I'd have to stick a finger up its butt. And I'd know.
When you say it, you mean 1 degree an hour. Actually, I kind of might have heard something like that before.
How do you know how much?
By touch?
Yeah. Like.
Yeah, exactly. That's I know still. But yeah, I do remember hearing something like bodies lose a degree an hour after they've been killed, or something close to it. Do you even have to ask pardon? SL9 incident.
2 years have passed since the case was closed. It was going completely end with the transfer that day.
Alright. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But why did you hope to accomplish this by sneaking the evidence room? When a case is closed, the detective who was in charge of it can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look myself. One more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? I don't know, Phoenix. Do you remember? Everybody got demoted and fired for that?
Yeah, man.
Phoenix can be a real moron sometimes. But I guess that's the whole basis of the game. That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID card and dressed like him, but I planned to. Okay. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
Because he was the officer in charge?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera?
And the detective's ID card?
I stole it that morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out the lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How is that returning it? I hate you. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall, if we're to trust him.
So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, partner?
I mean, the fingerprint activated the lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Normally, that shouldn't have opened.
So it opened because the rubber glove was stuck in the door by chance. Oh, so it was by chance.
Really?
It wasn't planned.
Weird.
So Marshall really did think he could just waltz in there and look
Yeah.
at the stuff. What a moron.
Yeah.
Then Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say it was quite a surprise. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to show his ID.
Well, I'll have to think a little bit more about his raise this year.
That's a good thing, right?
Good thing. Good thing for Meekins.
Yeah. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, I threw himself at me, and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say.
So what happened the next?
And I managed to escape. I knew I'd caught, but okay. So you did your research beforehand, except for knowing that lockers have to be opened by the person.
Yeah.
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long. You went in unprepared, you fuck. I didn't think it would make much difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
However,
Why didn't you leave immediately and erase it?
yeah. I'm
However,
wondering if he'll
you
stay.
bloodied your coat and struggled with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I come out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker, stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is on that day,
There wasn't any murder in the
Oh,
evidence
I
room
thought they
at
were gonna
5:15.
say something about what happened with the tape. Like, why didn't you erase it?
Yeah, I don't know. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates the crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on the tape was me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker?
Actually, no, I didn't.
Why not?
It was already gone.
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
what? Mr. Edgeworth, why is that? Where's that evidence?
I'm still missing, Your Honor.
Rubber. Friggin' dude
Detective
has it.
Goodman's locker already empty.
Damn.
Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer? This is no small offense!
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This is why I'll have serious consequences. It just can't be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Sorry, the song's too long.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'd do anything it takes to get the answer I'm satisfied with. He's so noble. Fix my tie.
right, when we come back, I guess we might start to learn a little bit more about the history of the SL9. I am assuming that's what he's gonna bring up, right? Because Lana must have given us that info for some reason. The game must have given it to us
True
for this
that.
moment. All right, we'll be back after this.